Good morning, everyone. It's me, Kathy. You're back in Kathy's Cocina Kitchen. Um, we are going to do some hot sauce, which is, some people call it salsa. I call it more like a hot sauce. When you go to the restaurants, you have your salsa, which is the chunky tomato, onion, and then you have your hot sauce for chips and salsa. I have a special request from an old supervisor of mine. She's not old. We've been friends for a very long time. So Miss Terry Newton, per your request, I'm making your hot sauce or salsa, however you feel comfortable calling it. Really easy to make. So what you need is 1 can of tomato sauce, and it's the 8-ounce can. And I'm also going to explain to you about the type of chili that we put in it. So you just put that in your little bowl container, and then you fill that same can up about 3/4 of the way. Okay, so it's about 3/4. So you put that in there. And then to that, we're going to add salt, garlic powder, chili-tepin, and oregano. That's it. It's pretty simple. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to show you something that I did. I know when I cook, and you're going to find as I'm cooking, I say a palm of this, pinch of that. That's just kind of how I learned through my grandma, my nana, and my mom. They just kind of put things in their hand, and you just kind of go with that. So I was trying to figure for Terry, for you, more specifically, until you perfect it, how much to measure. So what I did is I kind of just did my palmfuls, and I have this really cool measuring cup, or spoons I should say. It looks like this. Let me see if I could get that closer so you guys can see it. And what it does is you push and pull for the different measurements. So I figured this was a cool way for me to measure how much my palmful is when I say a palmful, because then I put it in the cup and I just kind of pushed it up to see how much it was. So if you don't have one of these are pretty cool. Anyway, so to this, what I found, it's about what did I say it was? A tablespoon and a half. So it's going to be about a tablespoon and a half of the Mexican dried oregano. And this one, you crush it between your palms. And because the reason you do that is you want to get the aroma and the flavors out. But then you don't want to have big chunky pieces in your hot sauce or salsa. So you kind of just grind it up in your hand. So that's one palmful, and here's the other palmful, which again comes out to about a tablespoon and a half. Now, you'll have to just kind of measure and put this, and then if you like more oregano, put more oregano. If you like less, put less. So you can kind of make it to your liking again. So you stick that in there, and then it's about a teaspoon. And I like a lot of garlic, so I usually put like a heaping teaspoon. And again, I measured this, so I'm kind of, because I usually measure with my palm, so I'm kind of measured before for you, Terry, a little bit. So it's about a teaspoon of garlic and about a teaspoon of salt. Now the salt is going to vary on whether you buy salted tomato sauce or no salt. So if you put no salt tomato sauce, obviously you're going to have to add a little bit more. And again, it's to your taste. If you like it salty, not salty, or too tomatoey, the flavorings here, the salt is going to be to your liking. Okay, so we have the salt, we have the oregano, and the garlic. Now, the next thing that I put in is chili-tepin. I'm very lucky. I have my own plant, chili-tepin plant growing. So I get my own, and I dry them, and I grind them, and I grind it down to this very fine powder. You're not as lucky as I am and have one. You can buy them at the store. This is what it looks like. I found these, usually they're almost always on the shelf at Food City. Fries, they're hard to find. I'm not sure about the other stores, but for sure Food City, you can find these. You might be able to find them at Fry's. They just either that or they just go really quick, and I don't really look for them because I have my own plant. So, but I bought one just to show you. You can buy them. If you buy them, make sure you buy them in whole, the whole balls, and grind them down. Do not mistake them for, and do not use chili powder, or I'm sorry, the chilies that you put on top of your pizza. Don't, chili peppers are called. Don't use that. They're two different chilies, just like apples. They're apples, but they're different types of apples, different kinds of flavors. Same thing with these. So make sure for this hot sauce you want to use the chili-tepin. Okay, and for that, when I grind it down, I'm going to say this one's probably going to be, again, this is going to be to however hot you want it. And I'm using 1/4 of a teaspoon. Okay. This, my chili, and again, it's going to depend on how hot the chili is. Usually the ones from the store aren't as hot as the homegrown ones. So I'm measuring based off of my homegrown. So you'll kind of have to just work with it as you go, how hot, how not hot you like it. And then all you do is just mix it up. And then once you get all that mixed in here, I usually have my spoon here and I taste it. I think it needs a little bit more salt, so I'm going to try another teaspoon. And I'm using kosher salt. You can use any kind of salt. I just like the kosher when I'm cooking. So I'm getting another spoon because I already dipped this one and licked it. Don't want to double dip. Perfect. That's it. This is what the hot sauce looks like. Now we'll taste it with a homemade corn chip that I made when I made the other salsa. Perfect. I'm in heaven. Anyway, I will go ahead under my YouTube. I will list all the ingredients for you so you have them there as well. Let me know how it works, Terry. Thank you. Bye.